Lord's Hall echoed in eerie silence to Calard, outside of the thrumming of his own heart reverberating in his own ears. The quiet was broken by the occasional shifting of armor from the standing guards, the idle shuffling of his governor Suterios the Scholar, or the gentle quill scratches of Liena around the corner as she looked over the holdings of the city. Legida had once been in the possession of the Calradian Empire and the Western Empire in the fragmented times after that. During the War of Four Nations, Vlandia had won a heroic victory against the Western Empire, claiming the city for their own and appointing Calard as ruler of the city. The Order of the Lionheart earning its place among the nobility of Vlandia as a true fief-holding vassal. This all transpired when Calard was abroad, defending the countryside from bandits and minor clans that would seek to supplant Vlandia's strength. The hardship of governance thrusted upon him without the spoils of great, glorious combat weighed heavily on Calard. A knight should earn his keep, not inherit it. Lost in reverie upon his ill-begot throne, Calard ponders the future. Suterios. Suterios. You're just standing there. You're standing there. It's fine. Where's Mertian? Does anyone know where Mertian is in this Lord's Hall? I've been sitting here picking at my goatee for 3.5 hours, and I can't even find Mertian. He's nowhere in here. You know what? I've had enough. We'll talk to Mertian later. My wife, I see you're still quilling away. You love me? That's fine. I love Mertian more too. But we're gonna go find Mertian. Maybe he's out here in the town center. Mertian, oh, never leave my side. Never leave my side. Mertian, I'm in charge of a town now. I don't know what to do. Mars, could you maybe like? No, just don't worry, Quares. Just whatever. Mertian, look at this. We own this. This is ours now. This is our city. What are we gonna do with all this? I mean, we have trash burning on the side of the street right here. This looks extremely dangerous. All right, Mertian. It's time we sally out. I've been cooped up in this city for too long. We must range out and stretch our Vlandian wings once more and see how we can maybe break the doldrum of this boredom that I'm dealing with. Mertian, to the stables. So that is right. We now own a city. Now, I feel bad. The scope of this campaign was to get this city alongside you guys and show off like how to take the city and all these cool things. And to be totally honest, what I had loaded up the game to start the next episode, I had realized we were badly hemorrhaging money. And I didn't want to just film another episode where I was essentially trying to keep the order afloat. So I did some kind of just patrolling of bandits, killing bandits, doing a lot of little mini trade routes across the western portions of Vlandia, and actually even from Revel down to Dunglanis, just running fish back and forth like a bunch of times. And it actually took me, I think, like 7 or 8 times before I started to break even quickly and then make money. And it just so happened while I was over here in Provend fighting bandits that we took Legida. So now we have Legida, which is great. Got a good amount of defenders too. We're still at war with no one, actually. I'm sorry. We're still at war with the Northern Empire, and that's it, which is quite nice. So we don't even have to worry about repercussions from the Western Empire. We do need to worry about, though, the Northern Empire being opportunistic and looking at Legida as an easy target, as they maybe should. And we've just started managing the settlement. I barely put any money into it because we're really not making a ton of money. I had to actually vastly reduce my army and split it with Liena because I was just really hemorrhaging money bad. We had about 100 some odd troops that were all extremely elite. We had nothing but tier 5 or so troops. And now we have a much smaller fighting force with a nice core of cavalry here with, what is this, about 17 total cavalry units. We've got a good amount of infantry now. We've got 6 plus these guys. That brings us to 12 with them at 20. And then this other Vlandian swordsman at 21. And then a good amount of archery with 20 archers. So we have a nice split, even amount of troops here. I would probably focus a little bit more on cavalry as I build out this army a little bit more. But now, we're at the last episode of Calard of Garamont's grand journey through Vlandia. And the ultimate goal was to achieve owning a fief, but I don't want to just simply say, okay guys, we've got the fief, open and shut case later. So we're going to kind of see how this plays out together. I don't have a plan for this episode. I haven't said to myself, okay, these are the things I'm going to do. We're going to kind of go about this in the way that I would myself, the content creator, and not Calard, and how to really expand this little tiny piece of land we've got. Because Legida is actually a very nice settlement. It's got two really strong villages here, with a hog producing and a hardwood producing village. But Legida is also rare that it does have only 2 attached villages, not a third. So that does make it for a little spicy of a situation here. So let's kind of work through this, see what we can do. Right now, our wife, she is in her own party, and she's for some reason right now just kind of hanging out at Legida, probably because she's my very loyal wife and just wants to defend the homeland, which I would naturally want to too. But with a war with the Northern Empire, we should probably be a little wary here. We have armies gathering near Ov and near Firth, which are going to be quite large armies here, 708 and 607. But if I take a look over here, there is a lot of presence of the Northern Empire up there. This is Northern or Southern we're at war with? Yeah, the Northern. And a lot of these were former, of course, there were former Sturgian holds, which we took and are now looking to retake, because we're no longer at war with the Aserai. We're no longer at war with the Western Empire. We still have lost Cheris, which is an unfortunate situation, as well as Sargo, but we have gained Legida and Revel, as well as Omor. So hopefully we can now start to push back over into this portion of the map and take the former Sturgian strongholds. So I think that's what we're going to do here. We'll move a little to the west, pick up hopefully some additional troops here in these locations. Now, the unfortunate thing with this being Assyrian now means that we will not have the high reputation to get large amounts of troops from them, which is upsetting, because Edinburgh is like the primary location in every single Vlandian playthrough I've ever done that always has squires. So we'll see what we can do on our march north to the Sturgian lands, and we'll see too how this plays out, because is there an arena? There's no arena, unfortunately. We're building right now an aqueduct to kind of just help out with our prosperity, and it was also the thing that was almost 100% complete at 82, so I figured might as well do that. Then our next thing is the militia grounds, just to make an increased bonus to that militia. But we're definitely hemorrhaging food, and we need an increase in our fairgrounds to help out with the settlement morale, because morale is going to be pretty low. The governor's culture helps out because this is a empire city, so I recruited an empire governor to put into here. So we have Soterios the scholar, who's going to be the governor here, and he is also he gives us a bonus because he is a engineer. Oh, I'm bring up the skill menu for that. There's no reason to really go crazy with equipping him. So if you click over here, I can see as a governor, he gives faster building production by 15%. So he gives a nice little bonus here. And he also has these 2 buildings. Construction expert, speed of building castles and walls increased by 30%, and catapults are 30% more effective. Now, of course, I would love for this to be like all the way over here, but that is not the case for young Soterios. So we'll probably actually work on... Let's redo that. I want this to go to number 1. And we're going to do this right after it, and then the fairgrounds. Because I do need some morale. And we've got... This is prosperity. Prosperity is... We'll do housing. So housing will help us with prosperity. I do usually like doing irrigation to help out with growth. And I would put more money in here, but right now it's just pretty much going to give us a little boost. It's going to add 50 construction to this current one that we're working on right now. I just don't have the money, unfortunately, to really inject this with a lot. And let's take a look at our other... And that was what I was primarily trying to do with my personal playthrough to get us to a point for the next episode, was actually make a workshop. We don't have any workshops. So that will be something I'll try to focus on. And since this is our last episode for Calard, it seems a little sad, right? We're parting from the ways of Bretonnia, and what that could possibly mean is like, oh, what's our next narrative campaign? Well, I have a treat for you. Our next narrative campaign after this one is going to be focused on Sturgia and playing through a Sturgian campaign with a little bit of a Kislev theme from Warhammer. So we'll be using a custom banner from Dimasos. He's made a number of awesome banners on the Bannerlord the Reddit for Bannerlord banners, and from there, we'll be able to kind of recreate this sort of really cool Kislev, Kievan Rus, Sturgian, Boyar, or whatever the hell, in the far frigid Northlands. And it'll be a playthrough in which we're going to use a number of mods, and these are mods that you guys have recommended to me. They're mods that Surreal Beliefs has recommended to me, saying like, hey, these are the ones that I know don't affect my campaign. Have at them. You'll have a lot of fun with these. So I'm really excited to get that going and off the ground and have some fun with you guys with it. Let's see if there's a little tournament in Jekyll before we head all the way north here. Ah, a plated helmet. Something I would love to win. And let us see how Calard fares in fair tournament of Jekyll. And it's easily the ugliest helmet in the game. So let's see how this goes. All right, Mertian. Mertian? Of course you're not with me. Okay, that was unnecessary. Every knight knows that you have to first run fully into a wall before you can stop your horse and pivot. Aha! Man, that guy's just taking shots at the dome like no one's business. I have my tiny shield. Do not harm me. Mertian, of course, is on the other team, shooting a crossbow at me, no less. Have I taught you nothing of the ways of the knight, Mertian? That was unfun for all of us, but Mertian learned the lesson. A crossbow is no man's best friend. Jumping into this one. Oh, man, you're coming at me fast there. Aha! A slap in the face. A swipe down the skull. This berserker is very berserk. Aha! Hoo-hoo! A good dodge. But can you dodge that? I'm about to do terrible things to your people. And I mean that not your people, just like culturally where you're from. I meant the Northern Empire, not you. This is terrible. This is terrible. Oh, move on to the next one. That one. Bet again. No, no. My comment before was in poor taste, and I do not appreciate where I've said, oh! But I have the polearm mannequin. Take that, Sturgian. On that one. I've gotten a lot more confident with the polearm lately, so it's not the scariest thing it was before. This, on the other hand, will be less fun. Un-3 looks very quick and smaller than most men. Okay. Ah. Un-3! Oh no, right across the belly. Ooh! Oh man. Stab him again. Aha! You're so small, it's hard for me to get a good angle on you. Aha! Woohoo! My shield's almost broken. I almost kind of prefer it, because you can chamber far easier with just a sword than with a shield. Aha! Take that! I need no shield to defeat thee, Un-3 of Unther. Man, that was actually kind of intense. We got ourselves a nice little plated helmet, a nice little bit of money, and that helmet needs to be sold immediately. In fact, the fact that it's in my inventory is immediately depreciating everything that Calard stands for. So we'll sell this a little quickly. Yeah, that. Moving north, and we'll start to, our money's going to kind of fluctuate as Legida bounces around back and forth with its income from taxes, which is going to be nice because I will start to make money from that, hopefully. Liena's party is primarily comprised of a lot of Vlandian recruits, so look at her. Doing little nothings. Just doing little nothings for the people. I love her. That's why I love her so much. Themestios, the spice trader, known far and wide for his Themestios. Here. And rather than kind of just fast forwarding, kind of talking through what the future is going to be so I don't just waste that bracket of time at the end of the video to talk about it. So when we work on our next playthrough, I will really kind of lean on you guys to find an idea of what we want to do for further directions, and we'll have more jumps of time in those in the next playthrough. I don't want it to simply be that every time you start, it's me immediately picking up where we left off. I'll kind of push my way through the harder, or I guess the less interesting portions of a playthrough, and really focus on some of the more crucial portions. The first episode will definitely be kind of that building up of our narrative, of our story, and getting you, oh yeah, I'll take those. We'll need a little bit of guys there. And kind of building up how we're going to go about that overall playthrough, and what kind of characters are going to be suspect and such. And I'm hoping to actually use some fun mods that will bring Calard into that playthrough. So, give me those squires. Look at her doing all these lovely things for people. Massive amount of relations increasing across the board. So there's something I want to check out on Ostican. Let's see if we're lucky enough that it's still there. It's something that I want to try to still get here. I mean, I could try and put your britches on. I could do this, and I would still not have enough for it. I don't have quite anything gripping enough to sell. Really push me over that edge. I mean, I have this very nice sword, but I mean, Calard can't be without a sword. I'm not a fool here. Mertian, always looking murderable. Yeah, for the most part, everyone's kind of pretty much set with what they've got, and to really move that would just be a shame. Would be a shame to do for Fair Calard's beautiful armor. So we'll keep him as is. Let's move over here to the Sturgian lands and see if we can do some fun fights here. I do want to, like I said, be able to wrap this episode up with some sort of cool not cataclysmic, but some sort of cool fun ending button on a cool little fight. So let's go ahead and fast forward. We're here now in the hostile lands, Sturgia. Let us see what we can do. I could jump into a mountain bandit fight here. Be fine. And this is really just to kind of get some quick little money off of things. And the nice thing is I've got such a high amount of units that are actually crossbowmen, so it's easier to do these bandit camps, but we both know what's going to happen right here. Yeah, you've cut quite strong through my men there, damn you. How about we settle this wound on wound? Oh, very well. Were you talking about? Were you talking out of the corner of your beard? Ah! Oh. Okay. Okay. Off to a terrible start so far. Down the center. Swipe across the face. I was trying to switch to the mace, but then I just messed that up terribly because the mace would do so much damage in this fight. But a quick little victory here for Calard as we pick up a bandit boss. And a fine commoner's tunic, which sells at an absurd amount of money. Get some quick relation there. So we've taken off, which is nice. Now, one thing I wanted to wait for the actual episode to do this is I have quite a few attributes and focus points I want to focus on right now. And we have all of the new one-handed ones, because with every single narrative campaign, I'm going to always be sticking with the main branch, not the beta branches. The beta branches I will reserve for my streams. But we've got the Shield Bearer, reduce the effect of wielding a shield on your combat movement. Also, infantry troops in the formation you are leading increase their movement speed by 5%. But Cavalry. While mounted, your one-handed weapon damage is increased by 5%. Also, cavalry, people kind of don't... I swear I pronounced this properly in my brain. Cavalry. Troops in the formation you are leading increase their melee damage by 5%. So we will do this. The consensus is kind of out here whether or not this applies to you as the army leader as well as captain. And when we're talking about captain, we're talking about anytime you're part of an army and you lead a contingent of, say, horse archers, infantry, cavalry, skirmishers, so on and so forth. So if you have an army comprised of your own companions, and that companion has a skill like this. They will increase the melee damage of cavalry troops in the formation they're leading. So be mindful of that when you're trying to select. So we do have an attribute point. I'm actually going to put this into intelligence. Or you know what? Since this is going to get, we're going to give this another. Put this back here. You do want to make sure you're keeping your social and your intelligence high. General life rule is you always want to be semi-intelligent, but also want to be somewhat sociable. But the big thing here is in Mount & Blade, these skills are so much harder and so much particular, and I guess you could say they are dependent upon so many other variables than the top 9 up here. These are pretty much all taken care of by just easily having or taking part in combat. But these, okay, you need to go do certain talk situations, you need to go do camps, you need to go help out people to increase your charm. Your leadership is only increased by maintaining high morale and leading an army. And you can't really do that until you're a vassal. Trade, well, we all know how to increase trade. Buy low, sell high. Steward, increase your food variety here and make sure that's at a high point. You can increase your steward quickly. Medicine is just simply helping wounded soldiers. So if someone gets hit in the battlefield, the chance whether or not they die is based off of your surgeon or your medicine skill. There is no surgeon. So if they get hit, then there's a chance that they will be wounded instead, depending upon that medicine skill. And you can see here, casualty to survival chance is 0.1% if I were the surgeon. Then we have engineering too, which increases, there we go, by operating siege engines and using siege engines offensively or defensively matters when you're either a part of a siege or you are defending in a siege. So, since these are so particular, I'm going to put 1 into intelligence. I was kind of wafy there, but I think I'll do that, and 1 into steward. Your summon's prosperity grows at a quadruple normal rate while you're waiting there. Less influence needed to summon vassals to war, because we're not going to be waiting anywhere. We are not a governor. We are Khalid of Garamond. And we will take the more renowned from battles, since we are going to be obviously doing battles. I think that is it for everyone. I'll check. Yeah, we're good. But I wanted to do that so that you guys can see the progression of Calard here. We do have another little hideout we could do. You own Omor. Maybe we can get ourselves going in a... Actually, these are miserable arenas. But up with forest bandits, do you? Well, Dumat the Potter, what have you got going for me?
I don't think I know you. Peace to you, stranger.
My name is Calard, sir, and you must be Sturgian with an accent like that.
I am Dumat, a merchant here in Omar. I own a pottery shop here. I know your name. I hear you recently cut some the bandits. Speaking as a merchant, we appreciate any efforts to make the road safer.
Yeah, I heard you kind of need some help with some bandits too.
Yes, this is no problem. You think it's problem? This is not problem for me. A lot of men from around here are turning to brigandage, to make brigand, to thief, to briganting. You know what I say. But now the countryside is not safe for village folk and traders alike.
Is there a way to prevent this? Can I maybe help you with some of these bandits?
If you know someone were to hunt down bandit, maybe shoot in head. I mean, cut throat. I mean, deal with bandit.
That depends. How many bandits? Are we talking about like a legion of bandits, like an army of bandits, or like a band of bandits?
And maybe 12 of your strongest men. Not like big men, little men. Big men, big strong little men. Not Sturgian men. You're a Vlandian. You smell like fish, but you're not a Sturgian man. The real Sturgian.
Oh, okay. I gotta do my... I have a bald spot, and I don't need it reminded. I'll hunt down 5 groups of forest bandits just for you, okay?
Very good. I'll be waiting for the good news then, and I will pay you 1,235 of your Vlandian dinars.
Fair enough, Dumont, as you pompously walk away from me. Ah, Boris, I see you're still not a fan of personal space. Let us continue back. The grand road of swiping these bandits here. Now, these quests sometimes can be really nice because you get these little small pockets of them. Horse bandits are a little bit trickier because they've got a lot of bows, but at this point... I actually do wonder what happens here. No, you know what? I was going to say, I wonder what happens in that situation if they want to surrender. If we let them surrender, if it still counts as dealing, quote-unquote, with a portion of the bandits. And we'll just go ahead and charge with our cavalry. There's no reason to be fancy here. And no reason to use the bridge properly. Mertian, charge. Alright, no one's going to use the bridge properly. Well, I shall flank them. Haha! Take that, bandit of the forests. An easy swooping kill. And I do say so myself, a victory nay! A worthy opponent with a paltry 4 bandits. We'll take them, just pop all that in there. So 1 of 5 is taken care of. One thing I do need to always do, that Mertian 3. You are fine in 1. You are supposed to 2. Aldrich is always supposed to be 3. The true noble knight. A seed is in. And that's something I really want to focus on in the next campaign, is really trying to create a strong narrative behind each and every one of our companions. And I'll be using them, like I said, a number of mods that will allow us to really take advantage of that and really kind of fine-tune how that works. I'm really excited to use a lot of these mods, and I think a lot of you guys have wanted me to use these for a long time too, so we'll get a lot of fun out of those. Let's see how this goes. Man, my wife is just doing the thing here. Just jump right into this. Okay, now that I have my mace out, I hope you're ready, Forest Bandit, because I'm getting a little loose here, getting ready to tussle and rustle with you. You know, we're going at it. We're going to go right at it. You have an axe? I have a mace. And this is already looking terrible. But what if I were to shield bash you? And then come down... Oh, miss you, I mean. Shield bash you again, and then... Okay, miss you yet again. It's fine. It's a very short mace. This is not indicative of me at all. Thank you, Forest Bandit Boss, for having fun with me and losing miserably. The Calard of the Garamond. Well, I don't know if that contributes. I wanted to see. That... No, it did not, unfortunately. So, but we got these little guys. Well, does that count? We'll see. They gave up on their own accord. No, it did not. So interesting. So if they give up, you must still hunt them. We're doing quite well. We're putting a lot of pressure on the Northern Empire. We've taken Balgard, which is nice, and we took Takor Castle a second ago. So all of which the Northern Empire took prior to us, when we had what I've called now the War of Four Nations. We have pretty sufficiently started to take back, and I'm pretty excited to see that. And I do not believe, like, so pretty much the way that this kind of works is the second you more or less get tier 3, they will almost automatically give you a fief. But I think it just stays like that until you get to tier 4 or 5 before they will give you another one. I've not been lucky enough to just receive another one out of the blue. Okay, let's get this. This is a pack of 15, so it'll be a little bit more intense, but something we can still deal with. And he has a mushroom on top of his head. So no reference to any other mushroom head. So we'll just go...
Raise your shields!
And just kind of slowly take that time.
Footmen! Footmen! Loose formation!
There's a lot of these guys, so they can actually do some good damage here. Yeah, see, I mean, jeez. We already lost a couple knights. Don't call me that, that's rude. We got one wounded. I'll take that. Khalid must train the polearm. Always train the polearm, Khalid. Swoop! There it is. That's what I wanted to get exactly. 60 riding for a worthy upgrade. Ooh, and we got some nice troops we can donate to a garrison. And as we do know, garrisons give you the most influence right now. But a horse that has been much in the waking here, Vlandian Corsair, is now Calard of Garamond's steed of choice, with the chain barding. It's just, he's such a Vlandian noble. Does that actually count? You have accepted it? Huh. I think I actually have to do it around Omor. It can't just simply be these guys. Yeah, we have to go back towards Omar, it looks like. Head back that direction. And this was just a way to get some quick money and the such. Up over here. There we go. And I think that with the next campaign, by taking a very heavier narrative stance and using more roleplay mechanics, we'll be able to kind of have less, I guess, just walking around from episode to episode, and more of a focus on a kind of a progression through a story. That's one thing I think I felt a little lacking in this one that I wanted to really kind of fix in the next one. These spearmen I don't want to really make billmen because their settlement Montos is under attack by Darbard. We have just a little bit of a raiding party down there. Keep. Dungeon. And a nice kind of cool thing you can do here is if you have your own city, you can convert these guys and just leave them in the city, and they will actually progress the Fians because that's the natural progression for them. So if you want to do that, you can definitely take advantage of that. Oh, a vicious Northern Empire win there. They just took 7 prisoners. You know what? Let's just kind of push over here. I want to have some fun over in this direction. See what interesting stuff is about. Yeah, and see, we just lost money because with that loss of location, or with the raid on that location, we no longer get the taxes from it. Are very easy. Fun little battles we can get into. Aha, Lek! Well, looks like you've met Calard of Germont, Lek, the chieftain of Sturgia. You know we're at war, though, right? And I know that your country is gone. That does not mean you can just openly fight us.
Footmen! Forward! Soldiers!
Make a loose formation with them. They don't have pretty much any cavalry, which is nice. We'll just kind of split this up like we do. Nice little valley.
Footmen! Move! Move!
Cavalry can kind of hide them up there. Oh, look at this. Noble. Foolish, but noble. Aha, Lek! The first to fall, the leader of the army. Okay, that was my horse. Shot. With your very extremely strong spears that you throw.
After me!
Their army's still kind of hanging back there. Looks like, oof. I might not be in a good situation here soon. These guys are actually, in mass, those guys are very strong. So one kind of interesting thing I learned is my poor horse, it's in his ear. If you hold down the right click, you can bring your shield up, right? You can keep this all the way up to the point where you want to make contact with the enemy, bring it down, then press X, and you're immediately in couch lance. You don't have to have your lance ready to be couched. As long as you're at full speed, it will jump into a couch position. Well, men, let us flank. This looks like an ominous place to attack them from.
Infantry forward! Move! Infantry!
Oh, that's not what I wanted.
Forward! Infantry! Footmen! Infantry!
And put you in a lovely skein because it looks very cool. I don't know if it actually has any direct advantage, to be totally honest, though.
Soldiers! Move! Advance! Infantry! Infantry! On! Whoa!
And immediately they break. They break upon the shores of Vlandian rock. That's a mace. That's a sword. This is a sword. That's a sword. You all fall before me. I am the most gracious and strongest of all Vlandian kings. Nobles. Not a king yet. I don't have any ambition to kill Durthan yet. I mean, those Sturgians, huh? Really making an uprising. And I'm pretty much just doing this for some quick experience. Even though it's brutal.
Charge!
Having just a decent amount of riding and somewhat of a good horse makes really all the difference when it comes to dealing with anything when it comes to horseback. It is so nice. In fact, when you go to start a new one, you have to use those trotters. Not a fun time for anyone. All right, so we got to 80. We'll be good there. That'll do. So a nice little victory there for Khalid. And you know what, Lek? I think you fought very well. You fought not courageously. In fact, you foolishly. But you fought well. Way to go. Now we'll take that charm bonus. A little bit off the top there. And a nice rusty Thamaskene steel Spathian, which is going to float my army for a continued amount of time. Unfortunately, we don't have... Ooh. What is the size of this army? This is a lot of recruits. This is a very terrifying force by comparison. But I think it would be a lot of fun. So maybe we get in a little conflict here with Svedrin of the Northern Empire. This will be a much harder fight.
Infantry!
Well, they are just recruits at the end of the day, but not something I want to really overestimate. They don't have any archery, they don't have any cav. That's going to be quite nice for us.
Infantry!
In fact, what I'm going to do here, square formation.
Square formation! Footmen, move! Soldier on my footmen!
A lot of recruits in there, which is going to be a little spicy. But if we can get a good charge in, and the reason I'm using square is as they wrap around the square formation, they will continue to do damage, which is really, really exceptional.
Infantry! Infantry! Move to enemy!
Going in. Gotta go right for the leader, right for the leader, right for the leader. Yeah, I got him. Okay, then I took a lot of shots. We're just right in the thick of it. Calard cares not. My force was immediately butchered. They're bringing down my knights. No! Oh no! Calard has been slain by a errant Sturgian axe. It looks like we'll win the day. We'll take some losses on that. Some squires, some knights, very very minimal on our cavalry, but a little bit on the heavy on the infantry. But a crushing defeat, giving us great amount of renown and influence from that, and good amount of morale too. So we'll take the win there. It did weaken us quite a bit. And you know what, Vedran, you also fought well. You fought well, better than the other guy because you actually stayed with your force. But I'll let you go about this day, Steve. Bring down some of those recruits and take everything here. Let's get out of here because now we are extremely low in health. and a ripe target for almost anything on the map. What I would like, if I had more time to really kind of expand upon this, I would like to really put in a lot of the, these are the soldiers, but the noble sons. Oh, those are the Khazate, my bad. Sturgian. Mariag. There we go. I'd love to get like a nice contingent of these guys, or even just the Druznik, as I did not pronounce that properly again. But it would be great to have these guys. And they're really going to be a focus of our next playthrough, in trying to have a really solid core of them. I want to try and get 10 to 20 in my army at all times, which will be a very huge challenge because they're very hard to recruit and very hard to maintain, because they take a long time to really kind of get to that point of really making you a lot of return by being effective on the battlefield. Good selling. Perfect. 9,000 will boost us up significantly. Arena? No. And a good battle right there. I really like that little bit of conflict. Here, I've got to sell these guys too. We'll just do it right here at Off Castle fast. And our renown's getting up there. Our influence is getting up there too, which is nice. Go to the dungeon. Donate some prisoners. Yeah, there's no one here I really see recruiting. If there were a large amount of Stygian spearmen, I would have done that. That would have been kind of a cool, because I love this crest on that shield is so cool. I mean, I could take the time to take the recruits through down to the Stygian spearmen, but it is quite the ordeal. In fact, though, we can just we'll keep 2 of them and then put them into the army. Sure, we'll deal with some more of them as time goes on. Let's swing over here into Omar real quick and kind of see the situation that presents itself. I've not seen any more forest bandits, so this quest that I've got is going to be quite spicy. But a northern goggled helmet, in probably one of the hardest arenas in the game, because the spearman fighting is very tedious. But Calard likes a good challenge. Let us join the tournament. The Frigid Tournament of Omor. Ugh, this is... Oh, and they've given me a bow. How lovely. Oh, okay. It was your horse, and I didn't mean to shoot it. I'm not an equine murderer, like one would expect. I am terrible with this thing. Where's Mertian when you need him? Aha! Adalis, Addy, I'm so sorry. Oh! I'm so shaky, I'm scared. They don't stand still when you shoot them with a bow like they used to in the old days. I come to your aid, don't worry. Good. Oh! Speaking of equine murderers. I didn't mean to swipe at you idly, Hasid.
We won!
We did! We did for once! With a bow, no less. Let's see who we have on her this time. Hasid, we need to take out Mertian. We need to take out Mertian. He plays a deadly game. Okay, going for the throat. Okay, going for the throat. Okay, maybe Aldrich is so noble. You're the knight I always wanted to be. Oh my. Oh no. Aha. Mertian hides. Oh no. Just a simple Imperial infantryman. Let's try and get this guy. Aldrich. Now who's the owner of a castle, huh, Aldrich? Where's your knightly praise working for you now? I didn't mean it. I'm just in a very impassioned situation. Oh. And it's a good thing that I approached this entire tournament very wounded. Very wounded. Oh. Alright, Hasid. Billman, do the thing that I need you to do, quickly. Because this guy will crush me right now. Oh! I'm trying not to expose myself. Oh, great. Want to expose yourself in public. Oh. Aha! Upon the stakes I smite thee. Oh. That Vanguard. Do me. Oh, Billman, you almost shot me. Stow your arrow, boy. Took me out. Alright, Billman, I didn't want this for you, but at least this is not with spears, else this would be a 5.5 hour fight. Ooh. Oh, down the center of the face, I bless you in the name of the lady in Lothern and all the other many nations of the Warhammer world. Oh. Oh. The Northern Goggled Helm is our prize, and a worthy one indeed. We will take that prize. And it is a meager prize, but we shall sell it nonetheless. So, to conclude, the mighty journey of Calard of Garamont, I want to do something that I've been wanting to do for 3 or 4 episodes. So let's go ahead and fast forward. Here it is. Finally, we have earned the Western Mail shirt. Rightfully so. We need to sell that just to kind of keep ourselves a little afloat. And Calard of Garamont now is a noble son of Vlandia with a Western Mail shirt. He looks incredible. And this brings our 13th episode of Calard of Garamont to a close. And this by no means is the end of our narrative series of campaigns. We're going to really go hard on our next one, and I'm really excited to jump into it. Unfortunately, I really saw that the direction of this one, and with a lot of the patches that have really kind of come out, unfortunately kind of pushed it off of its rails a little bit. And I think our next one will do 2 things that are going to be really strong. One, approach it with the clear set objective for the end of the campaign, the situation which we'll kind of culminate in. And on top of it, I think that approaching it at a faster pace in Calard is absolutely crucial. I think we've been doing this Calard of Garamont campaign for a month and a half or so. So I would like to really push through our next one at a much faster rate. So I want to thank you guys so much for joining me through Calard's wild journey through Vlandia. And I apologize if this is a bit of an abrupt ending. I did not expect to receive Legita quite randomly in between an episode, but having this too, we kind of have a really awesome home now for the Order of the Lionhearted. This ultimate ambition for Calard, wherein he wanted to simply settle down in a lovely city of his own, and maybe one day rise to the King of Vlandia. That is a tale for another time, and Calard's journey does continue in places unknown and in portions of the land that have yet been seen. And we shall see this maybe come back again in a future installment much, much, much further down the road. But again, guys, I want to thank you so much for joining me through this fun little narrative campaign as my first foray into really trying these out. And I appreciate your feedback and telling me what you did and didn't like about this. So if you do have any mods you want to recommend for the next one, we're going to be Stygian. We're going to be really kind of trying to fight back the tide, as it were, from all the lands of Stygia, as we really deal with a lot of the big things that, a lot of the issues that Stygia has to deal with in fighting off these endless hordes of other nations. So we'll probably have that starting next week for our next campaign, and I'm really excited to share with you guys. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching here today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that fun action. But leave a comment below on what you'd like to see in the next campaign. Is there a certain narrative you'd like me to go with? Are there certain mods you'd like me to select? Anything that can really help me color that future narrative campaign, I'm all ears for. But again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Have a good one, and take care.